Hey everyone, Mo here, and before the video begins, I just want to let you guys know that my schedule has opened up for me to do coaching again. So if you're interested in private one-on-one coaching for me to help you, whether you're a newer player and you want to excel at the game very quickly and learn the fundamentals without developing any bad habits early, or if you're an experienced player who's already maybe platinum or diamond in your top 1%, but you need some help filling in the gap to get you to that 0.01%, to make you just some of the best, then hit me up on Discord and I can get you in some private one-on-one coaching lessons to help you polish up any skills you want to refine and help you learn all of the secrets to becoming a top player. That's it. I hope you enjoy the video. Hey everybody, Mo here, and in this episode of Meta Monday for this week, we're going to be going over again the top 8 or 9 or 10 decks of the meta, showing you guys what's the most played, and probably getting you guys a dark horse deck that's being maybe not played as much that could probably or that should statistically on paper do really well into these top played decks. So, let's get into it. So number one is Draven Scion. The biggest thing we'll notice here is Zoe Nami is, for the first time, and I think it was like 3 weeks, for the first time this month, Zoe Nami is not the most played deck, and it's not even the second most played deck. So we have the top 2 most played decks here are now Draven Scion and Poppy Ziggs, which is really big because Zoe Nami has kind of been the most played deck, like I said, for about a month now. Oh, sorry, this is for the last 2 days. Last 7 days. I think I checked the last 7 days, it's the same thing, yeah. So, Zoe Nami is still not the most played deck. So, it's actually Draven Scion and then Darkness. So, you see Darkness has kind of gone down in the last couple days here. As you can see from like the last 2 days, it switched spots with the Poppy Ziggs. But overall, this last week, basically what happened is Worlds happened. Yamato did really well with Darkness, and then everyone was like, "Oh, that's me. I could do well with Darkness. I'm Yamato. I'm Yamato." And yeah, they play Darkness, and it's okay. It has a 52% win rate. That's okay, I guess. But I think people will quickly realize, or have realized, as you noticed the last 2 days, like she's gone down in play rate. Like it's not the second most played deck anymore. Is that they're not Yamato, so they're not just gonna win with Cinnaviger with Darkness like Yamato did. People keep saying things like, "Oh, Control did so good at Worlds, and Darkness did so good at Worlds, and Darkness is such a good deck." In reality, it was Yamato did really good at Worlds, and Yamato's really good with Darkness, and Yamato's a really good player. But people kind of just aren't figuring that out yet and think that they can still just pilot Darkness. If you look, I don't have League or LoR opened on my computer, but if you look at the Americas top cut, I don't think there's a single Darkness deck in top 16. It's all just, it's literally all just Draven Scion, Zoe Nami, and then like a couple like random, what is this? So this Shellfolk deck here. These are like the main 3 decks that are popping up in all of like America's top 16 right now. It's 0 Darkness. I think like maybe one person, I think Manesia used Darkness to hit top 10 in NA, but then he immediately switched to going back to playing like Poppy decks once he actually needed to climb at high LP. So yeah, Darkness it's up there, but I'm sure it'll go down, and the win rate isn't too crazy. 52%, that's fine. It's just, nothing too crazy. If it was as good as a lot of people thought, it'd probably have a higher win rate, but we'll see. It's a lot of user error for sure. But number 1 played, Draven Scion. Literally nothing has changed. 58.9% win rate. I believe last week it also had a 58% win rate. So, still being played a bunch, still has the same win rate. We kind of already just went over Darkness. It kind of popped up because it got second place at Worlds, and everyone was role playing as Yamato, and it just not working for them too well anyways. People are probably going to drop Darkness pretty soon. Poppy Ziggs. Number 3, so this is Burn. So again, this deck, I believe it was like number 4 last season, maybe number 3. I think it was number 4, or sorry, last week. But it has the same win rate. I believe last week it also had a 57% win rate, and this week it has 57% win rate. So we're starting to see things now kind of get consistent. So we see like Draven Scion is having the same win rate every single week, and while it being extremely played, we see like Poppy Ziggs being the second week in a row where it's pretty played and has the exact same win rate. Zoe Nami went down a lot in play rate. I think the reason Zoe Nami went down in play rate was kind of the effect of these 2 rising in play rate, of Poppy Ziggs being pretty decent into Zoe Nami. If you have that really explosive opener, you can kind of just kill Zoe Nami before the Nami has a chance to start buffing Sparkle Flies and stuff like that. As well as Darkness, if you just tech in like 2 to 3 Despairs, it makes the Zoe Nami matchup easy, especially if you aren't if the Zoe Nami player isn't very familiar with that matchup and they don't know that they need to do things like shoot the Catalyzer on turn 2, and I see a lot of people don't do that with the like line them up, knock them down. Is the Darkness player goes, okay, Catalyzer on 2, and the Zoe Nami player just goes, okay, I bank my spell mana because me Zoe Nami, and me need to go pass, spend 3 mana, and that alone will make you lose the game. So a lot of times when I'm playing, I'll just go, okay, line them up, knock them down, kill the Catalyzer on 2. Yes, your Nami's gonna level 1 turn slower, but it should be okay. Because it's either your Nami levels 1 turn slower, or your Nami just dies the turn it comes down no matter what, and it feels really, really bad. So we have Ziggs Poppy. I don't think this list has changed much at all. It's still just being, you know, aggro. You see people here doing really, really well. The top 3 players are all just have 80% win rates with it. It's, you know, an extremely strong deck. I don't even think the list has changed very much. I think people have gone down to... I've seen some people go down to 2 Tenor of Terrors and then 2 Lecturing Yordles, because Lecturing Yordle is pretty nuts. But for the most part, this list is literally the exact same list as it's been for the last, like, 2 or so weeks. So... back to 7 days. So yeah, deck's doing pretty good. Zoe Nami again, just got kind of getting more countered from the Poppy Ziggs, the Sin of Vigor. And people are just playing like Sivir Akshan, as you see here, as being the 8th most played deck. That's pretty annoying for Zoe Nami. So people, like, out of this top 8 list, 1, 2, 3, at least half of these decks are just hard countering Zoe Nami, or attempting to hard counter Zoe Nami. So if you aren't a good Zoe Nami player, or if you don't draw, you know, well, if you kind of like miss out on your champions and your Shellys and stuff like that, you're going to struggle right now in the meta, and it feels really bad. So that's why Zoe Nami's kind of gone down in player, because people are like, why would I try hard, or like, why would I have to try hard and put a lot of effort in to win with Zoe Nami when I can just like me play aggro, me go face type deal? You know, one of those is a lot easier, makes a lot more sense to do. So after Zoe Nami, we have Poke City. Poke City, I'm pretty sure this is like the best deck in the game, just based off of like matchup tables, especially like for tournaments. Poke City is nuts. Out of all of this right here, this top 8, it beats Draven Scion, it beats Darkness, it beats Poppy Ziggs, it loses to Zoe Nami, but if you're playing Harpoon, you can beat Zoe Nami, but on average, you're losing to Zoe Nami. You're beating Yordle Tree, you're beating Shellfolk. I don't know about the Sivir Akshan matchup, but I can only assume you're winning because you just play a bunch of blockers and you burn their face. But it's like the same way that Draven Scion. Maybe because of the rally, you're kind of weak to Sivir Akshan. We'll see. I'm not too sure about that one. But out of this entire top 8, you're guaranteed good into 5 of them. And then you're bad into 1 of them, but it's winnable. And then this one, I would assume you're good into, but it's either good or even, or slightly bad. It's either good, even, or bad with this one. So take that as you will. But yeah, Poke City is just like super nuts. This is my go-to deck. No matter what tournament I'm playing in, I will 100% be bringing Poke City to seasonals. 100,000%. This deck is just super nuts. Like I said, it's the matchup. It's the best like fair deck we have, and the matchup table is super good. After that, number 6, we have Tree. So Tree's kind of gone down in play rate, as we saw here. I don't think it's really changed it up much. Yeah, it's basically the exact same deck. People have gone down to like 2 flocks, I guess. But yeah, people start adding back in the Protoporo. Not much has changed from this list. Why it's gone down in play rate, I'm not really sure. I assume because, I mean, you beat the aggro deck really well. Maybe because people started playing more Poke City, or people were playing Sivir Akshan, and that probably beats you because you're rally. I know there was this last week, a lot of people were playing rally decks like Lulu Poppy, or like Lulu Poppy Lulu Poppy Vandal City, Lulu Poppy Ionia. I saw people playing Zed Poppy. Like, you know, last week on remember the meta report, it showed a lot of rally decks, so that could be a good reason why why Yordle Tree has gone down a lot. But I think Yordle Tree looks pretty good right now. I mean, you're good into Darkness, but as we saw, you know, the play rate on that is dropping. But you're good into Darkness, you're good into the Burn deck, you're good into Draven Scion. Your Zoe Nami is unfavored, but you can win if they stumble. If you draw perfect, you can beat Zoe Nami. I assume you beat Ezreal Vi if they don't play like multiple Aftershocks, and you probably just get bodied by Sivir Akshan, like I said, because rally and stuff like that, and you lose to the Burn deck. But you beat like half of the decks in top 8, which is pretty decent. So, you know, seems okay. Next we have Shellfolk. 48% win rate. I think this deck is just not easy to play. We see Drizzt has a 74% win rate, Sonicolic 73% win rate, you know, stuff like that. It's all around. The good players are at 70%. I think this deck is also insane on power level. Honestly, my go-to lineup right now would just be like Twisted Fate Gangplank, Ezreal Vi, and then Draven Scion. for tournaments, because that lineup is just powerful. Like, you just have 3 extremely good decks, and the only reason I wouldn't play Zoe Nami is because I don't want to run into some cringy, like, triple anti-Zoe Nami lineup and just have it be pretty difficult for me. Because while Zoe Nami can literally beat anything if it draws well, it's that you do have to draw well, and your opponent kind of just has to draw average most of the time. So I'd rather just bring those 3 decks right now. Because, and the reason I'm talking about tournaments a lot is because, as you guys know, Seasonals is coming up in about 2 weeks. So you want to start prepping, and this is about the time that I have to start prepping, because I have such little time to sit there and prep, because I have work and content creation and streaming and stuff like that, and you cannot, like, get actual prep in for a deck or for a tournament on stream and stuff like that. So, I have to start prepping for Seasonals right now and getting all my matchups in and stuff like that. So I think, like, Shellfolk, Poke City, and Draven Sign is a really, really solid lineup. And then after that, your top 8 deck is actually Sivir Akshan making a comeback. We saw Sivir Akshan do really well at Worlds. We saw Sivir Akshan just win the Mastering Runeterra tournament yesterday. I believe I had Sivir Akshan in that lineup, the $300 tournament. So Sivir Akshan, really, really good for tournaments. I'm not really quite sure how well it'll do on ladder. I mean, apparently it's doing great. 77% win rate from Ragna, 74% win rate from Sleepy Panda. So I mean, the deck can only be so bad. It's really good into Zoe Nami, and it's probably really good into, like, Fizz Poppy. And you're probably really good into, like, you know, Cinnabiger. Of course, you're going to be really, really bad into Ezreal Vi. You're going to be really, really bad into Draven Scion. I'm not too sure how the burn matchup goes, but I mean, the deck seems very solid. It seems like worst case scenario. I know a lot of people are taking out Ruin Runner. Let's see if that's this list still has Ruin Runner in it. I know a lot of people are taking out Ruin Runner for the Challenger Dragon, and that's how they're finding ways to really deal with the like elusives. So, okay, yeah, so Ragna is playing Ruin Runner version. So a lot of people in NA, I guess, might just be an NA thing or playing the Dragon, because that makes it really, really easy to deal with your bad matchups of the, like, Mayor sitting in the back row, the Viger sitting in the back row, any elusives you can challenge in and stuff like that. So that could be something you want to try instead of Ruin Runner. So the Dark Horse deck for this week, I'm not too sure. Last week I said FTR, because FTR looked really good. With this meta is kind of all over the place. It's not really a Dark Horse deck. I just think that, I mean, Poke City is probably the best deck to play. It's not really a Dark Horse, but I just want to give you guys what the best deck is to climb on ladder. And I believe it's Gangplank, or Poke City. Because, like I said, favored, not favored but winnable, favored, and then depends on how aggressive Sivir Akshan is, but I can only assume favored. So, and then you beat all of the, like, Poppy rally decks, because all you do is just kill their units, because you just go, like, okay, Keg, make it rain, right? Or you go, I have a 2-1, you have a 2-1, and you just, like, kind of match them in tempo, and then eventually you just, you know, TF gold card or TF red card or make it rain, pokey stick, parlay, stuff like that, right? And you eventually just, like, wipe their board and you run them out of gas, and you 1-for-1 them on tempo, and then towards the mid to late game is when you just go, okay, here's my Dreadway, here's my Gangplank. Like, you know, deal with these units. You don't actually have a way to kill Gangplank, so if I attack you with this Gangplank, you are losing your entire board and you're dying and I win the game. So I think Poke City is extremely, extremely good. And then right after that, I'd probably say Draven Scion. These are probably the 2 most consistent decks right now for ladder, and these are the 2 decks I would play. So that's it. I'll have a link to my version that I'm playing of both of these in the description down below. Make sure to join my Twitch, or follow me on Twitch. I stream on there almost every single day. Join my Discord. Link will be in the description below as well. It's up here on YouTube, so that way you guys can keep seeing all these Meta Mondays and all the content I put out. I put out videos Monday through Friday, so extremely consistent lately. I'll pat myself on the back there. I feel really happy about that. And that's it. I'll see you guys in the next video.